A Tale of Two Diapers. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today we've got a quick story that has to do with business surveys. Speaking of business surveys, go back and check out yesterday's video where I'm actually asking for a very specific question for you to survey the audience. A very informal survey, but I'd love to hear what you think about it. Go back and check out yesterday's. So, A Tale of Two Diapers. I've got a little story. So we had a situation right around the time that COVID-19 started coming on strong. Actually, it was quite a bit into it that we realized that the typical diapers that we pick up over at Costco, which is their Kirkland brand diaper, that we needed to get some more, and they were out. They did not have the size for our youngest child. Now, it's a funny thing about having children. Each kid that you have, you remember a lot, and then there's a lot you forget about. And so I actually forgot why we started using this brand of diaper. There were some reasons other than price, although the price is pretty decent in Costco. But there were other reasons. Well, what ended up happening is we ended up going with another brand. We ended up going, I believe this is Pampers. I believe this is Pampers brand. And we ended up going with the Pampers brand because it was the only other option that had the right size. And started using it on our youngest kid. His name's Lucas. He's our third kid. And didn't have any issues. Right about that time, one of my apps that throws market research my way once in a while had a survey. And they noticed that I had, because of just how the reporting works on there, and I won't get into the details, but there's a reporting mechanism that shows what you're purchasing. And so they saw that we were purchasing Pampers, and they said, well, do you enjoy Pampers? And it was a very in-depth survey of how do you compare it to other brands, and you think it's better or worse. Well, within the first week or so, we did not notice a difference. As my son was getting a little older, and as we were getting into the hotter months, we ended up with him drinking a whole lot more. And needless to say, these things were not holding up at night when it fills up with the most amount of liquid. I won't get into too many details, but you get the point. This was after I already filled out the survey, though. Okay, in the survey, I basically said I did not see a major difference. Besides price, I did not see necessarily a major difference between the two brands right off the bat. And even holding them in my hand, I could feel that this one's a little bit more sturdier and can handle a little more than this one can. So we ended up saying, okay, well, as soon as Kirkland's back in stock, we got to get some more. And we did. And sure enough, do not have the same issues with that brand. But here's the point. I filled out the survey right at the time when I did not have a clear connection. See, any survey that you have your customers take, it's just like a poll, a political poll. You got to remember, it's a snapshot in time. And so if you're going to do surveys and you're going to be as scientific as possible about it, then you have to do them all at once. You got to do it as quickly as possible, all about the same period of time, so that you get people at different levels of their experience, and you get a really solid roundabout idea of what your customers are thinking. Okay. Otherwise, you end up with people like me who are just at the very beginning of the buying process, are having no issues. Which I know that's what you think you want to hear from the customers. You think you want to hear that there's no issues. Honestly, a survey should be out there to find out what the problems are, because there are always improvements that you could be making to your business, to your marketing, to the type of customer that you're going after. Everything can be adjusted. And so you want to find the problem. You don't want to try to ignore the problem or to try and say that there is no problem that exists. There's always room for improvement. And if you survey too many people at the wrong time of the process, you're going to get a temporary positive view that isn't necessarily the same view that they're going to have in 3 months, in 6 months, in 6 years, what have you. It all depends on the time period that you're serving your customer in. So that's the tale of the two diapers Don't forget it when you're surveying people. Realize that you're going to get people in all different areas of the experience, and you got to survey enough of them to get a real clear idea of the improvements you need to make in your process. Hopefully that's helpful to you. We've got tips like this every week. We're going to have probably some interviews and stuff coming up, because now that we record these, we can do them with Zoom. So I might have some really quick interviews with people, maybe leading to some longer interviews that you can watch off of this podcast and video chat show. So watch for those in the future. In the meantime, go check out brianjpombo.com, especially the Amazon Proof Strategy session at brianjpombo.com/Amazon. That link is in the description. If you qualify, you may get the chance to be able to talk directly with me about your business. Go check that out, and we'll see what we can do about taking you to the next level and making you completely competition proof. We're going to see you next time. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.